Hi, and welcome to And So Much More. My name is Cami Smith, and I'm your host. This looks a little bit different because we're usually sitting in our studio or we're at one of our incredible facilities on Centra's many campuses. But today I am meeting remotely with Jen Halikman, who is our Vice President of Applications over in IT. And you are remote from somewhere I wish I was.
I am. I am in the wonderful Southeast Florida, Boca Raton. So
Uh,
nothing but sunshine and palm trees here, although I hear that's not the case in where you're from right now.
It's not. I'm just gonna go there in my mind for the rest of the conversation. But Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself, your role. You said you're in applications over in IT. Tell us a little bit about that before we jump in.
Oh, I'd be happy to. So I am no stranger to healthcare. My career actually started as a hospital pharmacist down here in South Florida. I worked in hospital pharmacy for years. Everything became electronic and physicians were no longer writing those medication orders on paper, I began to work closely with the IT teams and manage the software programs. So with that over time, I moved into informatics types roles. And then here at Centra, I am the IT vice president of the software applications. So essentially what that means is that my team manages all of the clinical, financial, and revenue cycle applications that the caregivers use on a daily basis.
Okay,
I
wow.
need to take water. I have allergies.
Go for it. So
Hmm.
that's a very behind the scenes but critical role to a lot of what's happening as Centra, along with many health systems, are headed in a very digital direction. Things are, I mean, we saw things drastically go online in like the COVID era, and it just really hasn't slowed down. And so thank you
Yeah,
for
you're
coming
quite
alongside
welcome.
us. I mean, you've been here for about a year now, you said,
I
correct?
have been. I have been. I worked at a large health system down here in South Florida, and have when this opportunity came up, I jumped at the chance to work there.
Well, we are lucky to have you. And you are going to give us so much great information about what we're going to talk about today, which is kind of a two-faceted digital step that Centra is taking. First, digital registration, and then coming soon after in 2026, we're going to have our online self-scheduling. And so this has been really pivotal for a lot of health systems to get things going digitally as far as registration goes. And then, especially for online scheduling, that's going to be such a game changer for our community, for our caregivers. And you have been such a large part of that process. And so, let's just start at the beginning,
Sure.
because this has been a long road, and that's something that I think our community, it's helpful for them to see that, when we come out and we say you can now register online and we're so excited about it, what they don't see is the entire year plus work that it has taken to get programs like this off the ground. And
Oh,
so what brought Centra to this decision of an adoption of this digital registration as well as online scheduling?
sure. So, well, patient expectations are changing a bit. So many patients expect to schedule appointments online, perform tasks online, much like we do in the rest of our lives, when we book travel, when we perform our banking, and we utilize many other retail services. That's just something we do instantaneously, and we expect that. So, although not the only reason to adopt this type of technology and invest in it, it is very important to recognize that need and request from our community and take an action to do that now. So, from a patient perspective, it will solve the problem or close to solve the problem of providing a means to efficiently share and exchange information with Centra patients in advance of them coming to get their care here from our wonderful providers. So it was time to take an action, and I'm happy that we were able to do that for our community.
Yes. So as we start many processes when you're looking at why to adopt new programs like this, can you think of really any, outside of what you just mentioned, any really key problems or concerns that this is a solution for directly?
Oh, sure. So outside of the patient experience and the benefits that they will glean from using this type of technology from a team member and caregiver perspective, This type of technology really reduces a lot of administrative burden in so many ways. Just to name a few, it allows for lessened call volume, frees up our staff to do other things and our team members. It streamlines paperwork and the intake process ahead of the check-in process. It helps reduce wait times. When patients come into the office, there's no longer the necessity to have them fill out the paper forms at the time they get there. And it also improves the accuracy of the information we have. So it does solve for or optimize a lot of the areas from an operational perspective. For self-scheduling, we've not implemented that yet, but when we do, that will really improve the visibility of appointment times for the patients, sending appointment reminders, getting patients here on time. No shows are a big deal in this business. So really visibly managing how the appointments are scheduled, communicating with the patients the whole time prior to their arrival, and actually even helping them through wayfinding and geofencing is a term, helping them get to the right place at the right time as well. So many challenges in the workflows in getting patients here to get care at Centra will be remediated with the use of this technology. So we're very excited.
Yes, the operational impact is going to be so significant. And, once that does roll over to a patient experience, because, I think at first, when you think about something new, something digital, that can be overwhelming for some of our community members. And this is going to be such a great solution. And I'm excited for when our community can go through that process. You mentioned geofencing. That's going to be such a direct impact at the patient level. Can you explain a little bit about what geofencing is?
Sure. So naturally, it does depend on the patient's devices and location sharing. But essentially, once they reach a certain distance from the hospital, they will be given, or whatever campus they're seeking care from, it will note their location and essentially look at where they are and help them get to the finish line, so to speak. It will look at how they are, give them directions, even information about once they're inside the building, where to turn, where to go, what you'll see. So it's just a way, it's like a very personalized Waze or, Google Maps, if you will, very specific to Centra and our campuses and to help our patients to get the care that they need.
Yes.
In the right
So,
location.
yes. So for those who are watching, get excited. This is going to be a great solution for you as you are continuing to go to your appointments. This has been chosen and implemented to be very seamless. And so I want to talk about that a little bit because while I think some of our community members will jump on and just love this new experience, I think it can also be helpful for those who it just helps them to know a little bit more. How was this such a great solution that it integrated with some of the Centra systems we already had in place? And I don't want to go into detail with all the different systems and what they're
Sure.
called, because I know a lot of our community, they don't have to worry about that. They just reap the benefits of what these incredible systems do. But I know that that was a big part of our choice.
It is. It was absolutely a big determining factor as to what technology that we chose. There's a massive amount of information in all of our core systems, very specific to each and every patient that we treat here at Centra. So it was integral to choose a solution that would make that information visible to our caregivers and team members to know about it and also see it at a time that makes sense when they're interacting with our patients. So choosing a solution that sort of collates all this information and puts it at the right place at the right time was, like I said, a huge deciding factor as to what technology. It's not just about the insurance information relative to reimbursement for the services that we're going to render to the patients, but it's also about sharing the clinical information to make sure that the care that they're here to receive is relevant to their clinical condition, that we're choosing the right provider and the right caregiver. So an integrated technology is essential for this type of digital front door technology. Like I said, it pulls it all together. The team members don't have to dig for it. It's putting it in the right place at the right time. And it also prevents, in some cases, from us asking for duplicative information. Myself, even as a patient, it's a little frustrating when you're asked for something that you've already given either the last time you were here. So, from a patient experience perspective, that will happen less. And that when we do have to ask the same question twice, in my opinion, it kind of reduces our credibility a little bit when and the patient could say, I've already given you that information. What else do you not know?
Mhm.
So having an integrated solution sort of remediates and fixes some of those problems with having the information available to you when you need it.
Yes, I love that so much. I think about when we say that this is going to help our systems be more accurate, I think people immediately think, is it not accurate now?
True.
Yeah, and that's not the case, but to that point, our we want to make the most of their time. We want to make the most of everyone's resources, and this is just such a great puzzle piece to make that happen.
It does. And, it also allows us, the task work and the administrative work to get that finished prior to the patient arriving here, I think is a huge benefit because it really allows the caregiver and the team members to focus on the priority of giving the patient the care that they need versus checking all the boxes that we have to check. No doubt it's important that we have all of that information because we do need to make sure that you're eligible for the care that we're going to give, that your insurance company agrees with that. So we have to get all the information they need. There's regulatory information that we are required to get here at Centra. But having the ability and having the technology that allows us to do all of that upfront and then when the patient gets here, we're just caring for them, I think is a wonderful thing here.
What does this move mean for Centra? So, as we are looking at this new capability that is going to be impactful both internally and externally, it's kind of this groundwork that's being laid for us to start operating in ways where we can take advantage of some of these advancements that we're seeing, whether that be with digital opportunities, with AI opportunities. How do you see how do you see this as being a step forward for Centra? And what could
Sure.
you say this means for what's next?
So sure, as I alluded to earlier, we needed to do something now. So it was Centra investing in this type of technology was necessary to do, from my opinion. Um, and that is for the immediate Centra community. But Centra will now be able to expand on these digital functionalities. One very important accomplishment in being successful in this initial digital front door from a registration perspective is that we want to establish patient trust in
Yes.
communicating with us in a digital way. It's a new form of communication. It's new to many. So becoming acclimated to this type of interaction with Centra, realizing that it's not changing the care that you get. It's really just giving us a tool to do that better and more effectively. So in doing this well out of the gates, it will sort of pave the way to onboard additional technologies in the future and really just digital care delivery in of itself, things like at-home patient monitoring, virtual care,
Mhm.
disease management. There are, applications of technology that will help you as a patient monitor your diabetes. It will send you alerts. It will work with providers to create care plans for you or identify, gaps in your current treatment. That could take humans, an inordinate amount of time to find out. The technology really just pulls all that together. So it's really the first step in acclimating the patients in our community to a digital transformation that's already been happening for years in the making. So we are very excited to offer this to our community now and get ready for that future.
Yes, Jen, thank you so much. This has been so informative. For those who are listening, you're going to see a lot of information about this out there on our channels, on the community, and we're going to provide some resources for you for the questions you have. I know that a lot of our caregivers and our leadership are passionate about walking alongside you in this transition. For those who are ready to go, and for those who maybe want someone to really kind of walk them through this process, we are here for that. And then, of course, for those who are not digitally savvy or maybe just not interested right now, traditional registration is also available. We want to make sure that you understand that those medical office assistants, those caregivers that you're seeing at our practices and facilities, they are still there for you. They are still ready to answer your questions. And then as we move forward, I hope you guys will get excited about all of this wonderful work that we're getting to do. And Jen, you've provided such good insight. So thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. And thank you all for joining us on And So Much More.